up, y'all? It's Joe Master Lee.
And Lulu.
And today, we're gonna check out a video about how sound effects are made in movies. Because you were blown away, and I was shocked you were blown away that sound effects are actually, created through an old-fashioned way of making sounds.
I know back then, but now the generation changed, and so I thought everything is done with the computer.
It's not the case, Lulu.
Oh.
You're going to see how, when it comes to sound effects, nothing beats real-world sounds. Now, they may digitally enhance stuff and play around with it, but when you want some nice crunching sounds, you really want to break human bones. That sound is good. Or maybe they're breaking something else. We'll see. All right, so let's check this out, y'all, because this will be a good one. It's from the movie Quiet Place, which is a horror movie all about sound. So, it's so intense because you have to feel the horror just based off of the sounds.
Ooh, that movie was really creepy and
quiet.
and
that was
creepy and quiet.
All right, let's check this out, y'all.
All right, let's watch
And
this.
away we go.
Celery.
That sounds like bones breaking.
Oh. What?
What is that? Crab
Crabs.
legs.
A Quiet Place was one of the most unlikely hits of 2018.
Kid, you are dead.
Made on a budget of just $17 million, the horror film would go on to gross more than $332 million worldwide. Emily Blunt earned praise for her performance, and actor John Krasinski had his first major breakthrough as a director.
He's a really good director. I honestly never would have thought that him, of all people, a TV actor, would have been so thoughtful in his approach to making a movie.
One thing that makes the movie so unique, its use of sound. A Quiet Place is set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun with monsters with ultra-sensitive hearing. Make a single sound, and you're in big trouble. Therefore, the characters communicate in sign language and make the lightest of footsteps.
What people don't even realize, even as you walk around those footsteps, they don't have a camera following with the microphone capturing it. Every sound effect is captured and made separately.
While the movie has a groundbreaking lack of sound, that doesn't mean it's completely absent of it. Brandon Jones, Ethan Van Der Rijn, and Eric Adol of E Squared are responsible for much of what you hear on screen.
Sound was actually written into the script. And so for us, it was like a dream come true, like kids in a candy store.
Here's how some of the movie's most notable sounds were made. Foley, a method in which objects are used to create sounds made by humans, or in this case, monsters, was used.
A Foley stage is a super quiet environment where we can put picture up on the screen and then record using our microphones in sync with the picture.
Some sounds, like a shotgun loading and water splashing, were made exactly as you'd expect. For other sounds, they had to get creative.
That's the way the monster walks? Oh, that's right, because it's got kind of a crusty exterior.
The most unusual sound might be the echolocation sounds used to illustrate how the monsters get around without vision. To make this sound, they settled on putting a stun gun up to a patch of grapes.
Who would have thought of something like that? How would you know that sound would...
Wow.
Do they just literally try everything possible till they come up with the right thing?
They then manipulated the sound in the next phase, the editing process.
The whole concept with these creatures is there's kind of an electromagnetic component. So using something electrical as a source for the vocals seemed to kind of make sense. So here's our recording of the stun gun. And we can take that sound and slow it down, and we can hear the individual electric clicks.
Not every sound effect requires Foley. For the sound of a baby crying, Brandon Jones recorded the sound of his baby nephew crying. One of the biggest challenges of this movie wasn't what you heard with ease, but the kind of sounds we might normally tune out. Footsteps are a classic Foley noise any sound designer is used to making. Usually, it'll be loud. But for A Quiet Place, the team had to account for the fact that the characters mostly walked around barefoot.
Where we would play Foley footsteps, where not to, were really dictated by the logic of the film.
It must be a nightmare for the cleaning crew to come in every night to clean that up.
I don't think they're gonna have to clean that.
I would think for every movie, there's a whole batch of different sounds that they need that they would have to clean it up. At least, between major movies.
On a lot of Y shots, we didn't even shoot the Foley for those feet. If we can hear it from such a distance, the creatures can too. And then when you cut into an extreme close-up and you see a foot push through sand, then we hear it just chiaroscuro.
The scariest sound of all, though, the lack of sound.
It's rare that you get to work on a movie that has this much absolute silence and parts where music and dialogue's all stripped away and it's just these faint details. One of the biggest things that happened throughout the course of post-production for this movie was really scaling back and being more minimalist in the creature sound design, because our first pass had him making noise all over the place, and we kept scaling back and making it kind of a less is more approach.
That's a good idea for a movie that was based off of sound.
Following in the path of one of the great monster movies before it, Jaws, the less we see, or in this case, the less we hear from the monsters, the more terrifying they are. And yet, good luck getting that stun gun sound out of your head now.
Annie's making lunch at the same time.
Impressive.
Multitasking.
Very and just eat it. It's so
that's
fresh.
how it
Those are so
works?
fresh.
Yeah.
Because if not fresh, you're not going to get that crunchy sound.
It's not like the food that we typically have
That's
in
right,
our
in our
fridge. Just I thought that you went with me. Didn't we go on a studio tour together, like to Sony's studio or Disney, and they showed us how what a sound room looks like and what a Foley's, I guess what do you call it, Foley's room or Foley's lab look like?
I'm not so sure, but I do have a memory of me when I was young back in the Philippines. This was back in the Philippines, though.
Yeah, how would I remember that? No, I mean like when we were together.
When we were here. I can't remember. Maybe that was just you when you went to your interview.
No, it was some sort of tour. It might have been for work, when I used to work in the entertainment industry. I don't know, Lulu. I feel like maybe you were there, but all right,
Cool
so that's
stuff.
how it works.
It's
That's
so
how
cool.
it works.
Yep.